For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live. Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to discuss about the yogas or the combinations which are seen in astrology for the divorce or separation or end of marriage, and what are the yogas for more than two marriages, multiple marriages in the chart. We are going to understand this with the example charts as well by applying the rules, the parameters which I am going to discuss, the yogas which we are going to see, so that you can understand in a much clearer way. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is shown in the description. So we are going to talk about the yogas for divorce and separation in the chart or astrology, and what are the yogas for multiple marriages or more than two marriages. So I'm not going to discuss the case where relationships are there and marriage is not happening. That I will discuss later in another video. But today I'm going to focus mainly on the part where the marriage has happened and it ended in divorce or separation, and later on another marriage happened, means more than two marriages, two or more than two marriages are happening. Then what are the yogas or situations for that? So first of all, there are simple parameters which you need to understand, and believe me, these are quite simple to apply. And they are the part of basics of astrology, which I'm afraid most of the people don't even know. So the thing here is that everybody who is a little bit familiar with the Vedic astrology knows that 7th house, Venus, Jupiter for females, 7th Lord, Navamsha chart, they are very important for assessing the situation of marriage and marital life. But there is one more important parameter which is much more is stronger than all these factors combined together, and that is Tithi Lord. So the Tithi means the lunar day in which the person is born, and the Lord of that day governs the marriage and the relationship of the person. So how your Tithi Lord is placed actually tells you that how your marriage is going to be, how your relationships are going to be, and whether they will be good or bad, they will sustain or they will end, they will break up, and whether you will derive happiness from them or whether they will bring you emotional pain and trauma. So that is all majorly also determined by the Tithi Lord, the placement of the Tithi Lord. And if you don't know, I have already told you what it is, but if you want to understand better, I've already made a detailed video on that. You can see that video. The link is shown in the card section above, and it is also given in the description section below. I request that you should see that video in order to understand what Tithi Lord is and what does it control in our lives, and how it's very important for the marriage and relationships part, and what are the lords of various tithis. There are total 30 tithis. So there are 30 days in a month, and moon goes in a 30-day cycle. So it is the lunar day, means the day of the moon, not the day of the week. The solar day is different, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that is solar day. So the 30 days, the cycle of the moon, each day is governed by a particular planet, which is known as, means the day is known as the Tithi, and that Tithi is governed by a particular planet. I have already explained in a detail in that video that what are the lords of each Tithis and what is Graha Dosha, means when a situation arises when Tithi lords are afflicted and they create problems in marriage. So watch those videos. Another video will be Graha Dosha and Panchanga Dosha. So I will apply those principles today in order to make you understand. They are very simple principles to assess the chart regarding marriage or divorce or separation or multiple marriages today. So the links are shown in cards above and description below. Watch those videos. So first parameter which you need to look at is the Tithi Lord in the chart, how it is placed. Second, after that, now if the Tithi Lord, if we talk about divorce and separation, then what happens that the Tithi Lord must be really damaged. It means that if the Tithi Lord is entering into Graha Dosha means, Graha means planet, Dosha means a malefic yoga. So if it is that planet which is the Lord of the Tithi, it is entering into a Dosha. And when the situation of Graha Dosha arises, as I have said, watch the video below. So Graha Dosha, if it is happening on the Tithi Lord, then it is bad for the marriage. It will create a lot of problems. And the more it is afflicted in the dosha, the more problems it will bring. It will make yogas for divorce and separation, or a serious discord, where even if the marriage is surviving, either it is creating problems on health and life or longevity to the spouse, or it's creating severe problems in peace at home. There is no peace at home. Always fights and some kind of problems are going on. But since our topic is today regarding the divorce and separation part, so the Grah dosha, if it is happening on the Tithi Lord, that is first condition, if it will creating problems. Next point will be if it is making Panchang dosha. Panchang dosha is different from Grah dosha. So Panchang dosha arises when the weekday Lord and the Tithi Lord are same, or if they are different, then they are together in the chart, then they make Panchang dosha. In short, by example, let's suppose somebody is born on a Sunday and somebody is born on a Pratipada Tithi. So Pratipada means the first lunar day. So Lord of Sunday is Sun, Lord of Pratipada is also Sun. So now in the chart, Sun is entering into Panchanga dosha. So it means that if the planet, same planet is ruling your Tithi and the same planet is ruling your weekday Lord, birthday Lord, then it enters a malefic yoga called Panchanga dosha, which simply means that the planet has to make a choice. The choice, it means that it can either choose your health and life and longevity, or it can choose your marriage and relationship. The placement of the planet in the chart will tell us that what it is choosing, the area which it will choose, it will be fine in the life, and area which it will discard, that will be disturbed, and you will see all kind of problems in that domain. So if the planet is choosing health and longevity, it means now it's going to protect your body, will give good life, will give good health. And at the same time, it will destroy the marriage, create problems in relationships, or vice versa. So that is Panchang dosha. That is why it is a malefic yoga, because it is hampering one of the important aspects of life by choosing one thing over the other. So any of these two conditions, if they are happening and the Tithi Lord is losing in Panchanga dosha, means the planet is choosing the health and life over marriage, then it means it will destroy the marriage. So two conditions, if the Tithi Lord is entering into Grah dosha, then it will be bad. Second, if it is entering into Panchanga dosha and it is losing in that, then it will be bad for the marriage or relationship. These are two parameters which you need to see. Another point, 6th, 8th and 12th house. The more 6th, 8th and 12th lords are going to be in a relation with the Tithi Lord or the 7th Lord or the 7th house, the more they will be negative for the marriage. Because 6th house is divorce, separation, fights and enmity. 8th house is commitment problems, problems to a spouse or death of a spouse. And 8th house is secrets. 8th house is commitment problems. 8th house is extramarital affairs, lies, manipulation, cheating. Then 12th house is losses, isolation, distance, separation, conjugal life. So all these houses, 6th, 8th or 12th house, they have malefic impacts in them. And if they are bad and they are influencing the Tithi Lord, the 7th Lord, the 7th house together, you have to see these conditions in Navamsha as well. Remember Navamsha chart, the D9 chart is very important for seeing the marriage. So along with the birth chart, you also need to see that Navamsha chart. So in the Navamsha chart also, the similar conditions are happening, except Panchanga dosha. Panchanga dosha cannot happen in Navamsha. It can only happen in the birth chart, not in Navamsha. Grah dosha can happen in Navamsha, and other significations like 6th, 8th or 12th lords are influencing the 7th house, 7th lord, Venus, Jupiter in case of females. If Jupiter is really badly placed for females, it's going to be bad for marriage. So any of those situations are arising, then it is going to be troublesome for the marriage part. And the more they are strong, the more they are going to rise the chances for separation and divorce. Next point, Mars. Mars can make Mangal dosha. Mangal dosha is a specific malefic yoga of Mars when Mars is in 12th, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th or 8th house. It makes person Mangali. But remember, being a Mangali is entirely different from having Mangal dosha. Mangal dosha is different from Mangali. There are many people who are Mangali. Being a Mangali does not hamper your life. It does not hamper your marriage. But Mangal dosha creates problems, because Mangal dosha can create excessive delay in marriage or relationships, several breaks or no relationships at all, isolation, and other relationships apart from the love and romantic ones also suffer. So that is the characteristic of Mangal dosha. So if Mars is damaged by Saturn, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, and it is in Mangalic situations like 12th, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th or 8th house, then it makes a strong Mangal dosha, and it can also create problems for the marriage part of the person. So these conditions you need to see in the birth chart and in the Navamsha chart, and then you also have to see the dashas, the time periods through which the person is running. So whether that person is going to get the results of marriage in that dasha, the divorce or separation in that dasha, how the marital life is going to be in that time period, that you need to see. If we are looking for the combinations for multiple marriages, like second marriage, third marriage, whether that is going to happen in a dasha, then only means the planetary time period is running for that second marriage or third marriage, then only that event can occur, otherwise not. Now for multiple marriages, what you need to see, I've already made a video on that. You can see it in the card section above and the description below. But there I've explained that multiple marriages, how they can be seen just from the Navamsha chart, just from the D9 chart, how you can look at it. But again, for multiple marriages, like 7th house is first marriage, 9th house is second marriage, 11th house is third marriage. So first house is fourth marriage. You need to take the jump of 3 houses. So 7th house first, 9th house, jump of 3 houses, 9th house, jump of 3 houses again, third marriage is 11th house, jump of 3 houses again, first house, that is fourth marriage, 3 houses again, third house, fifth marriage. So that is how the cycle goes. So if multiple marriages, combinations for that are happening in the chart, then in Navamsha and the birth chart, then we can say that yes, person can marry several times, and what will be the number of marriage that will sustain, that you need to see. So you will understand that when we'll discuss the cases. But this is how, and there are certain yogas in Navamsha particularly which you need to see. So first of all, what I have said, you need to check that first. And then in Navamsha chart, if the ascendant lord is powerful and 7th house and 7th lord are weak, and at the same time they are making dhan yogas, means they are associated with 2nd house, 11th house, 5th house or 9th house, then they make the yogas for more than one marriage. Second point, if in the Navamsha chart, the 2nd, 7th and 11th, 12th lords are placed in Upchaya houses, means they are placed in 3rd, 6th or 10th or 11th house, 3, 6, 10 or 11, any of them. Then all these conditions together, if they are happening, then they make the yogas for more than 2 marriages. So for that you need to see that, yeah, first marriage is going to fail, then second marriage can happen, and how the second marriage is going to be. So if you are going to look for second marriage, you need to see the 9th house, not the 7th house. So for 9th house, you need to see how the 9th house is placed, how the 9th lord is placed in Lagna and Navamsha. So you need to see the 9th lord in the birth chart, where it is placed in the birth chart and in the Navamsha chart. And you also need to see the 9th lord in the Navamsha chart, how it is placed in the Navamsha chart itself, and how the planets are influencing the 9th house. That will tell us that how the second marriage will be, whether it will survive or that will also end. So that you need to check. Now we are going to look at the cases so that you can understand these things better. So you are seeing here the chart of Donald Trump. So everybody knows he married 3 times and all 3 marriages ended in divorce. Several relationships have been there and none of them survived. But why? Let's see. Now, if we apply simple principles which most of the people apply for seeing the marriage, then you can't justify his 3 marriages in the chart. Because what is first marriage? That is 7th house. Now, 7th lord is Saturn. Now, Saturn is in Cancer, in 12th house. Of course, that's not a good house, but Saturn is Vargottam. It is in same sign in Navamsha and birth chart, and it is in Pushkaramsha, which is a good situation for bringing strength to some planet. Then what is the reason that he had been failed at all the marriages? So the reason is, and if you give reasons like Mars is looking at 7th house or 4th house moon Ketu, these are not valid reasons for his failed marriages. Now, if you look at all the parameters which we see, which I told you so far, now see, he is born in Purnima Tithi and he is born on a Friday. He is having Panchanga dosha, because who is the lord of Friday? Venus. And who is Lord of Purnima Tithi? Saturn. So Saturn is that planet, the Tithi Lord, lunar day, that is governing his marriage. Now Saturn is general controller of marriage. General controller. I'm not just talking about the first marriage. First marriage is also under Saturn because it is 7th Lord. But yes, Saturn is the general controller of marriage. And Saturn is in conjunction with Venus. So Venus is Friday. He's born on a Friday. Now Venus and Saturn are together. So as I mentioned, this is Panchanga Dosha. So Panchanga Dosha states that the planet has to make a choice. Either it can support his health, life and longevity, or it can support his marriage or relationships. So if you will see, Venus, despite being the Karak planet for wife and romance and love and relationships and marriage, Venus' primary duty here is to protect his health, maintain his life and enhance his longevity. Its duty is not to go for the marriage part because he's born on a Friday. Second point, Venus and Saturn, who is powerful? Who is winning the battle between these two planets? Venus, because Venus in Cancer feels comfortable. Saturn in Cancer is in an enemy sign. Saturn in Cancer is not good. Venus in Cancer functions very good. In Navamsha chart, again, same situation. Venus and Saturn in Cancer, where Venus is strong, Saturn is not, because Venus is good in Cancer, Saturn isn't. Another point, you will see that, so what is happening, that Venus is winning this battle in Panchanga Dosha. So natural choice is going to be towards saving the body, maintaining the life, enhancing the longevity, and hence, parallelly, it is going to destroy his marriage and family. So mainly the marriage part. So why? I've told you. Next point, if you will see. So he had been married 3 times. So Saturn is 7th Lord. It is 6th Lord of divorce going in 12th house. Give the separation with the first wife. Second marriage is seen from 9th house. Who is 9th Lord? Mars. So he married a second time. But how Mars is placed? Now see, for Leo ascendant, Mars is a good planet. Mars is a Yoga Karak planet in the ascendant, which is a good thing. But problem here is, in Navamsha chart, who is the 9th Lord? Saturn. It is 8th Lord as well. Aspected by Ketu, making Panchanga Dosha and losing there. Second marriage also can't function. Third marriage is 11th house, Mercury, in own sign. So Mercury can be seen, okay, third marriage, but Mercury represents what? Mercury means business. Mercury means logic, rationality. Mercury is not emotions, feelings, love and warmth. So it shows that the third marriage most likely is going to be driven by Mercury. But that's not the point. I'm making here that even though Mercury is in own sign, see how Mercury is placed. It is in Papakartari. It is hemmed between 2 malefics. One side Saturn, before Sun and Rahu. Here, who is 11th Lord? Mars. Mars is going in 12th house aspected by Rahu. 11th house is aspected by Saturn. And Mars, remember, Mars is not only 11th Lord, also the 6th Lord. Saturn is looking at it, which is already a malefic. It is 8th Lord. So it shows that third marriage is also not going to work. So what's happening here, that he had 3 marriages, all of them failed, and many relationships, many affairs, which nobody knows how many. But yeah, in this case, why this is happening? And just on the basis of these basic things, which nobody looks at. If you are just going to focus your attention on 7th house and 7th Lord and all those things, you cannot justify his end of marriages in his life. Why? That had been a terrible area in his life. You can't. With this information which I have told you today, you can justify it very easily why this has happened. Now, next, take the second case. This is the case of Elizabeth Taylor, famous Hollywood actress, beauty queen. So she had 8 marriages, 2 with the same husband, and all ended in divorce. 8 marriages, 8 divorces, uncountable relationships, nobody knows how many, several engagements which didn't transform into marriage. Now, why this has happened? Now see, in this case, there is no Panchanga Dosha, there is no Graha Dosha. Graha Dosha is there, but yeah, Panchanga Dosha is not there. She is born in Shashti Tithi, 6th lunar day, when the moon was waning. So Krishna Shashti, 6th lunar day when the moon was waning. So Lord of Shashti is Venus. Now Venus, see that Venus here is in 5th house with Rahu. It is also the 7th Lord. Venus is exalted, brilliant. Now what is 5th house? 5th house and Venus and Rahu are what? Emotions, love, romance, attraction, appeal, sex appeal, that is fifth house. So Venus. So it gives many relationships, tremendous attraction. And she was known for her beauty. So the thing here is that Venus and Rahu in fifth house being in exaltation bring plenty opportunities for relationships. But none of them survive. Why? Because Rahu is there. Rahu is a planet of non-commitment. Rahu shows things which are just done in haste, in impulse, and in momentary attraction. Stupid decisions are taken in momentary attraction. Or Rahu is also Maya. Maya means Rahu is materialism. Decisions which have been taken for the sake of gains, selfish gains. But again, let's see why. Rahu and Venus bring, this is a very powerful combination for having good recognition and fame in life. But at the same time, it's bringing plenty opportunities for relationships. Why don't survive? Because of Rahu. Second, Saturn aspect. Third, here Venus is entering in Grah Dosha. You have to see the Grah Dosha and Navamsha also. So here, whenever Venus is in relation, in this case, she is born in Tithi of Venus. So whenever Venus is in relation with Ketu or Mars, it enters into Grah Dosha. So Venus is in close conjunction with Ketu. Then it is in Papakartri, hemmed between Sun and Ketu. And it is entering into Grah Dosha. Venus is damaged here. And apart from that, Venus is seventh lord of marriage naturally, in this case, in the birth chart. So it shows that plenty opportunities for relationship will come with prominent people in life, a lot of attraction, a lot of glamour, a lot of fame. But at the same time, it cannot bring sustenance of a single relationship in life. No sustenance of a single marriage in life. That is how it is. Another point is Mars, Mangal Dosha. Mars and Sun are in fourth house, aspecting the seventh house. And next point, if you will see, Mercury. Venus is in the nakshatra of Mercury. And Mercury is totally gone. See, Venus is dependent. Technically, it is exalted, but it is dependent on Mercury to have strength. So, Mercury is very closely in conjunction with Sun, where it is totally combust. It is in strong Papakartri by Sun, Mars on the other side and Rahu on the other side. So, Mercury is damaged, due to which what happens? That Venus does not give that kind of support from Mercury. Another point is that Venus is in the nakshatra of Mercury, which is 8th lord. 8th house is the house of what? Several affairs. No commitment, cheating, lies, manipulation, secrets, no sincerity. That is what 8th house is. Rahu is also the same thing. So it will show that partners or herself, either she is not very much oriented or the partners are not very much oriented. Some or the other way, marriage is going to collapse. So that is happening in her case. Next point, if you will see, yogas for multiple marriages in Navamsha chart. The Lagna Lord must be powerful. So Lagna Lord is strong because Lagna Lord is Saturn. It's well placed. Fine. Jupiter is debilitated. Jupiter is natural controller of husband. So Jupiter is damaged. And even though its Neej Bhanga is happening, but Neej Bhanga does not work in personal life. So what happens that Jupiter is going to be bad for marriage all the time. Next point. Seventh Lord of the birth chart or the Navamsha chart must make some Dhan Yoga. Wealth giving yoga. So seventh lord here is Venus. It's going in second house of money, wealth. So it is good for bringing money and wealth in life, but it's not good for survival of relationships. It gives many relationships, none of which survive. And if another condition, second, seventh and 12th lords are placed in Upchaya houses, 3, 6, 10 or 11. So second lord in third house. Second lord in third house. It's placed there. In Donald Trump's case also, second lord and seventh lord are placed in Upchaya houses. So the thing here is that these planets are showing that relationships, marriages many times will happen. None of them will survive. Multiple marriage yogas are there, but no sustenance, no survival. So that has happened in her case. 8 marriages and 8 divorces. Many affairs, many relationships, many engagements which never converted into anything prominent. So why? That we can see from her chart. Now the last case which we will take is Billy Bob Thornton. This is also a really good case to understand this thing. Now see, in his case, he is having Panchang Dosha and Graha Dosha and Mangal Dosha, 3 things together. See, he's born on a Thursday and he's born on Pratipada Tithi. The lord of the Tithi is Sun. So in his case, Thursday, the lord of Thursday is Jupiter. So Jupiter is responsible for his health, life, and longevity. Sun is responsible for his marriage. Now, who is winning? They are together. Panchanga dosha is occurring. Sun and Jupiter are in conjunction. Who is winning? Jupiter is winning because Jupiter is exalted. Sun is not. Jupiter functions good in 12th house. Sun doesn't because Sun in 12th house is Marnakarak, loses its power naturally. Third, Sun is making Graha dosha. Whenever Sun is in a relation with Mercury or Saturn, means in conjunction with Mercury or Saturn, and it is your Tithi Lord, it makes Graha dosha. So Sun is in conjunction with Mercury. So Sun is losing the battle. And hence, what does it state? That natural choice will fall towards health, life, and longevity. It's not gonna choose marriage, and hence the marriage is going to suffer. He has been married 6 times and divorced 5 times. Plenty of relationships, several affairs, many extramarital affairs, and none of them survived so far. The 6th marriage is still going on. Nobody knows how long. Now see in Navamsha chart. Navamsha chart, if you will see Sun, Mercury, Jupiter in 7th house, this is a good combination, you might think. But it isn't, because here Lagna Lord is strong, and it has to protect the body, not the marriage. And mainly in the birth chart, 3 doshas have happened. One is Panchanga dosha, where Jupiter is winning. And see, Jupiter is strong in Navamsha too. So Jupiter is winning. So protection of health becomes priority, marriage doesn't. Then second, Sun in Graha dosha. Third is a strong Mangal dosha, very powerful Mangal dosha, because in 12th house he has debilitated Mars, and whenever Mars is in relation with Ketu or Venus, it makes Mangal dosha. So here Mars and Venus are in conjunction in 12th house, where Mars is debilitated, and he is having Mangal dosha from the Venus, from Lagna, and from the Moon. From all 3 he is having the Mangal dosha. Third, he is having Sannyasa yoga. Sannyasa yoga means whenever 4 or more than 4 planets are together in conjunction, and out of them 10th Lord must be present in that, then Sannyasa yoga happens. Sannyasa means a renunciation. It does not mean that the person is going to be a renunciate. It means that that planet is making a spiritual combination, and if the person is not really spiritual or have a capacity to renounce, then that yoga is going to manifest in such a way in the person's life that even by having all kind of material accomplishments, it never gives you peace, fulfillment, contentment, satisfaction, and completeness from the material world, no matter how hard you try. So it's going to destroy the marriage completely. So these are the 4 things happening here. So somebody who might look at this combination just on a superficial scale might think that this is a really good combination, bringing a person who might be really spiritual and really creative and knowledgeable and everything. That can be, but not a spiritual person, not in that scale. So the thing here is that these reasons which I have given you, these are the reasons why they are destroying the marriage, saving the life. Next point. If you will see combinations for multiple marriages, so in Navamsha chart, the Lagna Lord must be strong. Lagna Lord is strong. Mercury, Sun, and Jupiter in 7th house. 7th Lord of the birth chart on Navamsha chart must be badly placed in Navamsha chart. So 7th Lord of the birth chart is badly placed in Navamsha chart. Here Saturn is 7th Lord. It's badly placed in Navamsha chart in debilitation with Rahu, in Parivartan with Mars, and in mutual aspect with Mars. So Saturn and Mars are looking at each other, exchanging the zodiac signs, and Saturn is debilitated with Rahu. Then 7th Lord must make the Dhani Yoga. So 7th Lord here is making Dhani Yoga because it is going in 11th house of gains. Then 2nd, 7th or 12th Lord must be placed in 3rd, 6th, 10th or 11th house. So 2nd Lord is in 3rd house. So what does it show? Yogas for multiple marriages are there, but none of them will survive. And one more thing, this Mangal dosha which I talked about, it also brings affairs outside marriage, outside relationship. While you are in a relationship or a marriage with somebody, you are also going to have affairs outside with that. Outside that means illicit affairs as well, because that is what Mars Venus bring. So that is how it is functioning in his case. So he has been married 6 times. 6th one is still going on. 5 divorces, several relationships, several affairs, and no sustenance, no survival, nothing. and no peace and contentment from them. It cannot be. These planets, they can't bring that no matter how hard he tries. So we have seen here from three cases uh, with examples that how to apply these simple things, and see that 6th, 8th and 12th lords, they are also playing a vital role. Okay, so how you have to see these things, they are very simple, they are the part of the basics, but nobody knows about them. So that was my intention here, to make you understand that before jumping onto the details of other aspects like 7th lord, 7th house, navamsha and other things, just look at the tithi lord, how it is. It will give you 90% of the information about the marriage and relationship of the life of a person. So how it is checked, how it is analyzed, that I have told to you, and how you can apply it. You can use it in your own charts and charts of people whom you know, so that you can understand it much better. And you also need to see the dashas, as I mentioned, the time periods of the planets, how they are going to bring the results. So if the dashas are going on in such a way that they are bringing marriages, relationships, but at the same time breakups, divorces, separation, second, third marriages, or another kind of that stuff, then you need to see the dashas, how they are. And also you need to check, as I already told you, for the number of the marriage. Means if you are talking about second marriage, you need to see the 9th house. Third marriage, you need to see the 11th house. So how they are. So it's not like there are many people for whom the first marriage didn't work out, but second marriage is very good. So for them you need to see that, okay, 7th house is not functioning fine, but 9th house is good. So now the second marriage will be very favorable for the person. The first one didn't work out somehow. So that you have to see, and then you will be able to understand by these applying just simple things, that how the combinations of divorce and separation can be seen in the chart, and what conditions can bring multiple marriages for a person. Next time I'm going to discuss the combinations for no marriage at all. Two conditions. First, where the person is not interested in marrying, they don't want to get married or have a relationship, means they are more focused towards other aspects of life, career or spirituality. Or the second case, where a person has a lot of relationships but does not get married in life. So many relationships with no marriage, and no marriage with no serious intention to get married or get into a relationship. So these kind of two aspects or scenarios we'll talk about in the next part. So far I think I've explained everything from my end. You would have got clarity about the combination for divorce and separation and multiple marriages in the chart. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. For more, check on my website, Facebook page and Instagram. Their links are shown in description. Otherwise we will meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.